Welcome to Kardec Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls with one more episode of The Spirit of Truth, a book that was written in 1961, published in Brazil in Portuguese. Several spirit authors come to illuminate us and give us tips and hints about the truth. Oh, truth. Can we handle the truth, dear friends? Right? Often we cannot handle it. We are still very childish on earth, but we're getting there. If this book came to us, yes, 60 years ago, it's a sign that we are ready for it if we just want it. And today, the message is by the spirit HIlario Silva through the mediums, Chico, Xavier, and Waldo Vieira, and they come to talk about spoon and throat. And we're like, what? Spoon and throat? What is this all about? Well, he actually is referring as a tribute to the Gospel According to Spiritism by Kardec, chapter 9. Chapter 9, item 2. Chapter 9 is Blessed are the meek and the peacemakers. And you know, Jesus said, Blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the earth. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. If we want to really attune with the transition of the earth, we need to be meek. What is that? Because usually we're very dominating. We want to dominate. We want power. We want to outstand, right? That's how we are on earth. But we're tired of it, don't you think? We're so tired of these games of fame and we say as society, these games of who shows off more than the others. And usually we use words to do it. And that's when we may fail. How can we be meek if we are chatterboxes? Right? Right now we're speaking because we're sharing. But what about in our daily lives? Are we able to stay quiet, to allow the other to shine, to allow the other one to be the center of attention, the other one to be the one who needs more loving care than us? It's a new approach. Well, Hilario Silva, he got this very sentence, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. This is in Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. Are we peacemakers? You know, studying this is not new to us. This message we're going to read is strikingly new. But are you a peacemaker? Am I a peacemaker? What does it take to be a peacemaker? Chapter 9 of the Spirit of the Gospel According to Spiritism tells us what it is to be a peacemaker. But what is it that we need to do to be peacemakers? What is it? You want to see it? Right here, right now at Kardec Radio at 11 p.m., we're going to learn how to be peacemakers. How so? Let us listen to Hilario Silva because he has good news to share, right? So he begins this message by titling Spoon and Throat. Spoon, the utensil, and throat. How can we be peacemakers? By using the spoon and the throat. Okay, let's see. He says, let us imagine the tongue as the spoon of feeling. The tongue as the spoon of feeling. The tongue as the spoon of feeling. Let us mentalize the ear as the throat of the soul. Everything we talk about, is an ingredient for spiritual digestion. So we are saying that with what we speak, we're collecting feelings to deliver in the ears of people. So he says, let's see, check the ingredients that exist. Which kinds of feelings do we want to be sharing with others through our tongue? Goodness is invisible bread. If we want to share the goodness is bread. Kindness is pure water. These analogies are so profound. I won't spoil the fun. I'll read through these passages and we talk. Kindness is pure water. Optimism is restorative. Consolation is a pain reliever. Constructive enlightenment is a mental vitamin. Patience is antitoxin, toxic, antitoxic. Forgiveness is readjusting surgery. Now, the other hand, complaint. What is complaint? Vinegar. Censorship, pepper. Cruelty is poison. Slander is corrosive. Useless talk is sickly surplus. Evil speaking is rot food. Speaking, we build. Speaking, we destroy. Speaking, we hurt. Speaking, we medicate. Speaking, we heal. The divine master said, blessed are the peacemakers. Let us use the nourishment of peace for others, because by extending peace to others, we secure peace to ourselves. And with peace, we will be able to have terrestrial space in time and time in larger dimensions so that we learn and are able to really serve. This is a list we need to have every day of our lives. Because if our tongue is this instrument of nourishment, of sharing vibrations, feelings, what do we want to share? Because it's going to stay with us. It's like perfume. We want to use it and pass it on somebody else. It remains in us as well. So he says, it's true spiritual digestion when we are having a conversation. You and I, right now, we're having a conversation and we are nourishing our souls for real. No wonder cardiac radio is nourishing our souls. See, the living proof in this message by HIlario Silva. Because here at cardiac radio, like in our spiritist centers anywhere and elsewhere, in any spiritist radio, in spiritist magazines in general, in spiritual literature in general, we're nourishing our souls. So next time we talk to our child, to our husband, to our wife, to our sister, to our brother, to our mom, to our dad, to our grandparents, we need to think of this sharing of nourishment, spiritual nourishment. So goodness is invisible bread. How many people are starving nowadays? Starving, hungry for goodness. They're hungry for goodness. There are people who are spiritually anorexic. Because they avoid goodness, avoid ingesting the goodness. And where does goodness come from? From God. Practicing spirituality is true nourishment. Whether we have a religion or not, but practicing spirituality based on science, we already have numbers to show to us how important it is. We should encourage one another. Never, never proselytize, no, but encourage people. Think about your connection with God. Feel it. Because in that, we're going to find the strength and the good in us, sharing with others. Where does this goodness come from? God, through us. Kindness, pure water. There are people who are so thirsty. Look at the Samaritan woman. In the book Good News by Umberto de Campos, Jesus is traveling with the disciples by foot. They stop because they're hungry and thirsty, obviously. No 7-Elevens, no convenience stores along the way to stop by, but there was a well in nearby cities. So the disciples went their way to find something, and Jesus remained there. He knew it's immortalized, it's a new moment, a lesson for us. He finds the Samaritan woman by the well, approaches her, and through that dialogue, he says, if you drink of this living water that I have to give, you will never go thirsty again. And we're like scratching our heads 2,000 years later, asking, what are you talking about, Master Jesus? What is this living water? HIlario Silva is saying here, kindness is pure water. Jesus is the model of kindness. He's never exasperated. He's never impatient, never intolerant. Our world nowadays is so consumed by this intolerance, by prejudices. We need kindness. Sarcasm is sour. When people talk to us, it's important that we talk to nourish each other's souls. How am I going to laugh or tease you about your hair, your shirt, your car, your professional position? These are not jokes. There's a limit to it because there is what we call the nourishment of our souls. So being kind, there'll be a day the planet Earth is going to be surrounded by kindness. People will see each other's needs and offer the water of kindness. So pure that we're going to feel replenished, never dehydrated. Our society is dehydrated. It needs kindness. We need kindness back in schools, but mostly in our families. In our families. That's where kindness begins. Finding ways to reach out to those who are with us, thinking of their needs and how we can reach out to them. So now, goodness is the bread, and then kindness is the pure water. That's the best diet. When people say, I need to diet, me too. But then you go, you diet, you feel miserable. Because the true diet doesn't begin with food, it begins with water, physically speaking. Did you know it? Yeah. Hydration, it begins with water physically. But since the body is commanded by our spirits, We need to nourish our souls. How so? With goodness and kindness. The goodness that I give to others remains with me. The kindness that I express to others is within me. I'm replenished and I am sharing with others. And at the end of this message, Hilario Silva says, we're going to receive what we're giving. So optimism is restorative. Think about now the pandemic is finishing, let's say this way. Why? Because more people are being vaccinated. The numbers are going down. We need to be optimistic. But you and I, optimistic because we know more than this. It's not about the material vaccine, it's what we're learning spiritually. We know that this planet is well guided. So, consolation is a way to relieve the pains. So, when people are feeling too much pain, consolation comes. The gospel of Jesus, the promised consoler, pain reliever. Pain is law in your world, said Leon Denis in the book After Death. Joana de Angelis, as a spirit friend, has this classic message about patience in the gospel according to Spiritism. And she says that life is full of things that will be like pins and needles. It hurts. We need consolation. That's why we're here at Cardiac Radio as well. So when we have people, let's visualize our daily life. Somebody is feeling some sort of pain. Let us practice consoling them. Let us not undermine their feelings. Let us trust their dignity, their needs, validating people. We cannot console people if we don't validate them. Jesus never struggled or power struggled with anybody who came his way. He never said, come on, you're a crying baby. How many parents I know that talk about things like this to their children? Sometimes we people, you may be raised by parents like this. I don't know. Sad. Because we need to validate in order to change that pain. We need to talk to people constructively, clarifying things, illuminating, enlightening. So Hilario Silva says constructive enlightenment is a mental vitamin. This program at Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m. is a mental vitamin. I'm stronger. You're stronger. Because these teachings by these spirits, teaching us together, they are true strength. It's empowering you. It's empowering me. It's empowering us. So we go our days constructively helping people in our lives. So we need to learn, and this is a parenthesis, to be more diplomatic in our homes. These homes where we have no boundaries, we say what we like, we do whatever we like. It's a mess, it's chaos. We can't say everything and anything we want. We need to practice this refinement from within when we don't say whatever we like, because it may hurt. Oh, but I didn't mean to hurt. Well, but did you mean to help? No, I was just, no, there is no in between. If it's not helping, it's not helping. It's bad. Mechanisms of Mediumship by Andrew Lewis through Chico, Xavier, and Waldo Vieira. In that book, Andrea Lewis explains to us there are two types of mental currents, destructive and constructive. There is no neutral. Oh, but I was just, no, there is no just. When children come to us, but I was just, is it constructive or destructive? We. But I'm just going to say, is it constructive? Is it helping? Is it no? Don't say. If we said, we forgive ourselves. And you're going to see, patience is a detox. That's why we're all full of toxins, no patience. So we need to practice patience. By how do we practice patience? By understanding that God is the only one that is in charge of time. We cannot rush into things, be hasty. We need to practice mindfulness, paced out life, doing things efficiently, but fully present, patiently, telling ourselves, I am patient, I am patient, I am patient. And finally, the top of them all, forgiveness as a true restorative, readjusting surgery. That's why it's hard, because it's a true surgery. To forgive is to rid ourselves of those clusters of vibration, the grudges. Forgiveness is true surgery. When people say, but it's so hard, because it's surgery. Surgery is a process. We need to focus and say, I forgive you. Think of that person. Visualize a bouquet of beautiful flowers. I forgive you. I forgive you. You are a child of God. I forgive you. You're a child of God. I forgive you. You're a child of God. And in that, true operations of transformation in us. But what if we don't do it? We start nagging all day long, complaining all day long. It's as if we're drinking vinegar, and it's not apple cider vinegar, because apple cider vinegar helps. But this vinegar doesn't help. Complaining doesn't help. Well, Vanessa, what do I do when things are not going right? What do we do? Seek the good, seek the good, seek the good, seek the good. Yes, it's a training right here at Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m. It's the gym of the soul. We are pushing, push-ups. We're lifting weights of our mind, of our feelings, so we can operate better. You and I can. Do I have problems? Yes, you do too. Well, we're just so human. I cry, you cry. We have our ups and downs. Okay, but we're optimistic, and then we restore ourselves. Because if you see somebody who is not optimistic and starts complaining, uh, it's sour. It doesn't go anywhere. It's stuck. Censorship is pepper, spicy. Now with social media, we're good at it. He did bad. She did bad. As if we're children pointing fingers. And I remember my grandmother, when we were young, 5 grandchildren from my mom's side. And my grandmother, Amalia, used to teach us, because children are so funny, right? We're like, he did it. No, he did it. And we point fingers. He did it. And she used to say, when you're pointing a finger, you have add more fingers pointing at you than at others. And then it would be like, uh-oh, uh-oh. And then we would joke, he did it. And we would stand our arm like this to say, Grandma, he did it, she did it. And this is how we are. When we are censoring others, we need to adjust it. We are thankful to HIlario Silva for this guidance. It's spicy. And we're not talking about taste here. We're talking about usefulness. Give pepper to somebody. You can season it. You can season with it, but not give black pepper to somebody, pure and plain. Okay, because if we do, we're gonna spoil everything. Cruelty is poison, no doubt about it. When we go back to Emmanuel's books, we see cruelty through poison. And people ended up poisoning each other, killing each other, and killing themselves, like Pontius Pilate. The cruelty that I give comes back. Slander, talking bad, there are two phrases here, is corrosive. Evil speaking is rot food. So no wonder many people spend their days evil speaking, slandering, and then they don't feel well. Because it's sick, it's rotted. Useless talk is like a sick surplus in our lives. It's as if he's saying it's like vomit. And forgive me for the word, but it's as if we are purging onto somebody else's ear, which is the throat of the soul. The tongue is the spoon of feeling, and the throat is the ear, is the throat of the soul. He says, when we speak, we build. When we speak, we can destroy. We saw January 6th, a social event in Washington, D.C., in the capital. We speak to destroy, to hurt, but we can also speak to build, bring unity, to medicate, to build, to heal. So today, you and I are going to be invited to nourish each other with peace, the best element. He says, let us use the nourishment of peace for others. Give peace to others. Mamma mia, give people a break. When we post something, let's think about what we're posting. When we in our lives want to double check how we're doing, let's give peace. How do I give peace, Vanessa? How do I do that again? How do we do it? Give what you would like to receive. Let us give what we want to receive. That's giving peace. People may not ask us, but we're going to give them the good, the bread of goodness, the water of kindness, and the restoration of optimism, the pain reliever of consolation, the mental vitamin of constructive words, the detox of patience, and the true plastic surgery with forgiveness. Fancy, huh? That's the plastic surgery that we need. Forgiveness. This chapter is fascinating, isn't it? Inviting us to exercise in the next 24 hours, visualizing when we speak that we're giving food to that person, to the ear, the throat of the soul. Let us see what we're going to give. Shall we, friends? We're so thankful to these spirits who came in 1960-61 to bring these messages to us, especially Hilario Silva, who explains that speaking we build, we heal, we medicate. Let us then use our tongue as a spoon to share the good, to share love, to share kindness, to share peace, and thus becoming peacemakers. We can become peacemakers by using our communication skills. What a banquet! A banquet for the soul. That's what it is today here with us at Kardec Radio. We love being here with you. And we are very thankful to God that He gave us this opportunity to be together, sharing this, studying together, nourishing each other's souls. We send you a big hug, lots of gratitude. And until tomorrow, God willing, friends.